of being so poor, queen so rich. Hashtag let's revolt.
The French Revolution of 1785 was caused because of the uneven spread of wealth in the country. Most of the population was starving and couldn't get by. In contrast, the royalty and very few upper-class people were very rich and had plenty of food.
Let them eat cake. LOLs. Hashtag yum.
The tipping point was the bread revolt, when the women fought for bread because they were starving.
Give me your bread!
The official start of the revolution was the storming of the Bastille.
We should start our own government. Let's do something like Americans. Hashtag yay revolution!
Once the revolution gained power, the people had to make their own government. The majority of the population was not being accurately represented in the three-estate system that then ruled the country. This is when the tennis court oath happened. The people vowed to create their own constitution. They had the same ideas that the Americans just used in their revolution, that every man was equal and should have rights. They made a limited monarchy. This meant that they had a king and a queen, but the real power lay with the legislative assembly. The Catholic Church was secularized. The bishops and the priests were elected by the people and paid by the state. Because of this, many Catholics became enemies of the revolution.
Those Austrians and Prussians are so pushy. Our revolution isn't gonna hurt you. Hashtag leave us alone.
Because of all the violence and instability in France, the surrounding countries became afraid that the French Revolution would pour into their own countries. Austria warned France of this, and then France declared war on Austria. France did not do well in the beginning of the war. From this, the paranoia that would kill hundreds started. Soon, there were revolts against the new government. The people broke into smaller groups so that the country was no longer fighting together, but against each other. The new group was the Sans-Culottes. They were the ordinary working-class people.
Yikes. Has anyone seen the new guillotine? Craziness. Hashtag no one can be trusted.
The people were becoming increasingly paranoid. Even the leaders were being killed. There was a new government called the National Convention. Marie Antoinette and King Louis XVI were executed. This enraged all of the monarchies in Europe. France was on the edge of a foreign crisis. To help protect itself, they started the Committee of Public Safety. This was a board of 12 men that was supposed to protect France from foreign and domestic threats. They started putting hundreds to death. This came to be known as the Reign of Terror. Close to 40,000 people were killed by the guillotine. The country was de-Christianized and they built a large army to defend themselves.
This revolution is so old news. Hashtag let's have peace.
In 1794, the French had defeated their foreign enemies and the Committee of Public Safety was no longer necessary. The National Convention again gained power. Churches were allowed to reopen. The Constitution of 1795 created more stability in the country. It created a new government that had 2 chambers with 750 members. Although this era was very corrupt, it was the most peaceful France had been in a very long time.
Have you seen this new guy, Napoleon? Hashtag potential.